It's an Olympic tradition to rival the torch relay and oiled-up Tongan flag bearers.
Boycott.
And while it's mostly fallen out of fashion since Moscow and Los Angeles in the 80s, there's a growing movement to bring back the boycott in Beijing.
Sir, do you support a diplomatic boycott of the Beijing Olympics?
Something we're considering.
We shouldn't have our own athletes standing up, lending their good names to a regime that has conducted itself in the manner that it has.
Peng Shui's disappearance is just the latest human rights red flag for China, along with the erosion of Hong Kong's sovereignty and the repression of Uyghurs in the country's west.
This is a genocide happening in front of our eyes.
China, though, hasn't taken it well.
The behavior of politicizing sports activities is out of ideological prejudice.
All lies concocted by anti-China forces will be mercilessly exposed.
Why does that sound so familiar?
The Soviet Union accuses the United States of using the Games for political purposes. They say they are guilty of stirring up anti-Soviet propaganda.
The Soviet Union had just invaded Afghanistan, so it was in response to that. But really, it didn't do much more than hurt athletes.
Boycotts can work. Along with economic sanctions, they helped to bring down South Africa's racist apartheid regime in 1990.
From the late 60s through the 1970s and into the 1980s, it had a huge influence in isolating the South Africans.
But compared to small fry like South Africa, China is Moby Dick. And as Aussie exporters of wine, lobster, coal, barley and copper have discovered, they are not shy of slapping us around.
You're not going to see a country like Australia do it on its own, or even Britain or anyone else other than possibly the United States, because all China will do is pick people off.
To keep on the safe side, any boycott would probably only affect the official delegation, politicians, dignitaries and coattail riders, leaving athletes free to compete. Oh, and they mightn't even call it a boycott.
Zip it.
As the extremely short political career of Mal Meninga demonstrates, politics and sport don't always mix.
I was just a person out there but making sure that I was, I'm buggered. I'm sorry. I've resigned.
But when they do mix, it can be a powerful combination. So could this be the ultimate way to send China a message?
It's great stuff, that, the Mal Meninga.
We could just talk about that.
It's all time.
We could talk about that for longer than his career was.
Billy Brownless.
His political career, we should
Billy Brownless is also just absolutely avoided one as well. But I think there's a couple of things that I'd like to make the point of here. I think individually, it's absolutely impossible to separate politics from sport, because if you want to, you're completely ignoring the fact that sports people are people and they live under, I guess, whatever political sphere that they do, and politics do affect them. So, of course, you can't separate them. But when it comes to, I guess, state-sanctioned, or, you know, say if Australia was to sanction upon their athletes not to go to China due to, you know, all of the issues that we've just seen, well, stop trading as well. Stop doing all of those other things. Don't just put it on the athletes.
I think this is the thing, right? Because if Australia, the United States, they're entertaining this idea of a diplomatic boycott, but then is that actually going to affect China? Would China care about that?
Isn't a diplomatic boycott what you do when you want to say you've had a boycott, but you don't want to have any of the consequences of a boycott, like missing out on medals and stuff?
Yes.
Right. So the example that's always used is the South Africa example. But as you kind of saw there, that was like a full court press. It's like every aspect of life. And South Africa is this little country you could pick on. You try to do it to China and the trade issues.
Whatever.
So I just think in the end, I don't know where this ends up. Like, is there?
Hopefully, it doesn't end up us at the front of the queue demanding a boycott. we can just take towards the back of the pack and go, yeah, we're happy with it. You want a boycott? We'll boycott too.
What the US said, yeah.